Status light visible, Priya? State physics, and today's date is 7th August 2021. Okay, so we have started the unit number 2. Okay, and in first lecture we have studied about the Bragg's law, X-ray diffraction and their derivation. So today we will see very important and second important topic of this unit, first half of this unit, that is live diffraction equation. Okay, so the scientist named von Leeuw in 1914 gave and studied the diffraction, X-ray diffraction, using the atoms. Okay, atoms of crystalline solid. Okay, in 1914, and he has come up with certain equation in 3 dimension along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and these equation or those equations are known as Leeuw's diffraction equation. Okay, so we will see what are those diffraction equation, okay, discovered by von Leeuw. Okay, and he got Nobel Prize for that. Okay, discovery or discovery of Leeuw's diffraction equations. Okay, so what he considered, what is the difference between Bragg's diffraction equation and Leeuw diffraction equation? So Bragg's considered the diffraction of X-ray from the atomic planes. हमने देखा था लास्ट लेक्चर में कि एटॉमिक प्लेन होता है, एक लाइन होती है और उसमें प्लेन से डिफ्रैक्शन होता है. ओके, डिफ्रैक्शन टेक प्लेस थ्रू द प्लेन्स ऑफ एटम्स. ओके, एटॉमिक प्लेन्स in Bragg's diffraction technique or in Bragg's diffraction law. But in Leeuw diffraction equation, Leeuw consider that every atom, okay, every atom is the scattering center. Okay, it means that when X-rays are incident on the atoms, X-rays are used to scattered from the atoms. Okay, so what is the difference between Leeuw's diffraction and Bragg's diffraction? Bragg's considered that the atomic planes, diffraction takes place from the atomic planes, but in Leeuw's diffraction method, okay, the diffraction takes place or scattering takes place from the individual atoms. So we will see what is the particular ray diagram of X-ray, okay, X-ray diffraction in case of Leeuw's method. Okay, so suppose these are the two atoms, A atom and B atom. Just look at the animation. Okay, this is A atom and this is B atom. Okay, so von Leeuw imagined that or gave the hypothesis or gave the prediction that every atom, okay, is used to scatter the X-ray. Okay, so उसने क्या किया, उसने एटॉमिक प्लेन कंसीडर नहीं किया. ब्रैग्स ने क्या किया था, एटॉमिक प्लेन, एक लाइन ऑफ एटम्स. हमने क्या किया था, ब्रैग्स लॉ बनाते वक्त एक लाइन ऑफ एटम बनाई थी और उस लाइन ऑफ एटम से डिफ्रैक्शन हो रहा था. लेकिन वॉन लेeuw ने ऐसे लाइन ऑफ एटम और एटॉमिक प्लेन्स के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोला. उसने क्या बोला कि इंडिविजुअल एटम जो होता है, इंडिविजुअल एटम कैन एक्ट एज अ स्कैटरिंग सेंटर और इंडिविजुअल एटम से ही एक्सरे स्कैटर्ड होती है, ये लेeuw ने बोला. ओके, सो लेeuw ने 2 एटम कंसीडर किए. ठीक है, एक है एटम 1, दिस इज द ए एटम एंड दिस इज बी एटम. सपोज these are the incident X-ray and this green arrow represent the direction of X-ray. Okay, so this is first incident X-ray and this is second incident X-ray beam. So it is incident on atom A and this is second incident X-ray is incident on atom B. Okay, so and these are the scattered X-ray. This is incident X-ray and this is scattered. So as soon as these X-rays are incident on atom A, because of the electrons present inside the atom, the X-rays get scattered. So this is the first scattered X-ray due to the atom A. Okay, and this is the second scattered X-ray due to the atom B. Okay, so this is second incident X-ray and this is second scattered X-ray. This is first incident X-ray and this is first scattered X-ray. Okay, so and then this N1 cap and N1 cap. Okay, this N1 cap means unit vector represent the incident X-ray or represent the direction of incident X-ray. So this is N1 cap and N1 cap. देखो एक इंसिडेंट, इस इंसिडेंट एक्सरे का यूनिट वेक्टर भी क्या होगा N1 कैप, इस इंसिडेंट एक्सरे का भी यूनिट वेक्टर क्या होगा N1, क्योंकि दोनों के दोनों क्या है इंसिडेंट एक्सरे बीम से. ओके, सो N1 cap is nothing but unit vector which represent the direction of incident X-ray, and similarly N2 cap is the unit vector along the direction of scattered X-ray. Okay, along the direction of, this is second scattered X-ray and this is first scattered X-ray, and N2 cap is the unit vector along the direction of scattered X-ray. And what is T? T is the distance between A and B. Okay, T is the T vector represent translational vector. This translational vector means the distance between A and B. The vector along the line AB is called translational vector. We have joined these atoms. We have joined these two atoms by this green line, and this green line represent the translational vector that can be quoted as T vector. Okay, so this is the simple diagram, and this is the diagram which give the scattering of X-ray from an individual atom, and there are two atoms. Okay, so scattering takes place from these two atoms, atom A and atom B. These are incident X-ray and these are scattered X-rays. Okay, so in Bragg's law we have done one thing, we have calculated the path difference between incident and their incident and reflected X-ray, or incident and diffracted X-rays. Here also we have to find out the path difference between incident X-rays and scattered X-rays. We have to find out the path difference. Okay, for that we have to consider this angle is theta. This is angle, glancing angle or angle of incident. This is theta, as well as this angle, scattering angle is also theta because of the law of reflection. Okay, this is theta, this is also theta, this is theta, this is also theta. Okay, so these four angles are theta. Okay, if I want to calculate the path difference between these two rays, two incident and two scattered rays, so I have to draw the perpendicular that I have drawn during the Bragg's derivation of Bragg's law. तो सेम एक क्या करेंगे, A से परपेंडिकुलर इस पे डालेंगे स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे पे, और यहां से B से परपेंडिकुलर डालेंगे इंसिडेंट एक्सरेज पे. ओके, ये फर्स्ट इंसिडेंट एक्सरे पे, तो A से परपेंडिकुलर यहां, B से परपेंडिकुलर वहां. ओके, सो मैंने B से परपेंडिकुलर यहां पे डाला. सो ओके, आई हैव ड्रॉन द परपेंडिकुलर फ्रॉम एटम B टू द फर्स्ट इंसिडेंट एक्सरे, एंड आई कैन कंसिडर दिस पॉइंट एज M. ओके, again I have to draw the perpendicular from A to the second scattered ray. Okay, this one, this AN is the perpendicular, and we can say that it is normal also. Okay, normal भी बोल सकते हैं perpendicular भी. So AN is the normal to the second scattered beam or second scattered X-ray, and AM is the, or BM is the normal to the first incident X-ray. Okay, so ये दो perpendicular इसलिए draw किया, I have to find out the path difference. That's why I have drawn these two perpendiculars. One is from atom A to second X-ray scattered beam. Okay, and one is from atom B to first incident beam. Okay, so this is the diagram, and again you have to remember these things. This is the unit vector along incident X-ray, N2 is the unit vector along scattered X-ray, means N2 cap is the unit vector along scattered X-ray. Okay, N1 cap is the unit vector along the incident X-ray. If we consider the magnitude of N1 and N2, it should be 1. यूनिट वेक्टर का अगर मैंने मैग्नीट्यूड लिया तो वो 1 आता है. ठीक है, सो N1 कैप का मैग्नीट्यूड कितना आएगा 1, N2 कैप का मैग्नीट्यूड कितना आएगा 1. ओके, सो यू हैव टू रिमेंबर दैट द मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ यूनिट वेक्टर, ओके, it come up with the value 1. Okay, so magnitude of unit vector N1 is 1, magnitude of unit vector N2 is 1. Again I have to consider one more angle. This is whole angle. Okay, this I can consider as a phi, MAB. The angle MAB I am considering the angle is phi. Okay, similarly if this angle is phi, this angle is also phi, because if we consider these are the parallel rays, these are the parallel rays, or these are the parallel rays, and this is the transverse. Okay, so if this is transverse, so this angle is also phi. Okay, this is the phi. Okay, so I am considering MAB is the angle phi, as well as this angle is also phi, ABN. Okay, ABN is the angle phi. Okay, this is the phi angle and this is also phi angle. Okay, so I hope you understood this diagram. This diagram is very easy diagram to make this. Okay, to construct this. Okay, see, this diagram is very important to derive the Layev's diffraction equations. Okay, so again I am telling the construction of diagram again one by one with the animation. First, consider these two atoms A and B. Okay, join these two atoms by translational vector. These are the two incident beams on atoms A and B, and these are the corresponding scattered X-rays from atom A and atom B. Okay, again you have to consider two unit vectors n1 in the direction of incident X-ray, then unit vector n2 in the direction of scattered X-ray. T is the translational vector between A and B. Okay, then if you want to find out the path difference, you have to construct the perpendicular or normal. First of all, I am constructing a normal from B to first incident beam. Okay, these are the angles theta. Okay, that is, you know, and this I have to find out the path difference, so you have to construct a perpendicular. Okay, you have to draw a perpendicular from B to first incident beam, that is BM. Again you have to draw one more perpendicular from atom A to second scattered beam, that is AN. Okay, and you have to consider that the magnitude of you should know that the magnitude of the unit vector n1 and unit vector n2 is 1, because the magnitude of unit vector is always 1. Okay, again you have to consider two angles. One angle is MAB is phi, and this one more angle is ABN is also phi. Okay, so this is the simple construction to derive the Layev's diffraction equation. Okay, so अब क्या करेंगे इसमें, Layev's diffraction equation की diagram तो बन गई. Now what we will do, we will have to find out the path difference. Okay, we will have to find out the path difference, and before finding that path difference, you have to remember that translation vector can be represented in the form of this is three-dimensional, n1a plus n2b plus n3c. Okay, n1 means unit vector along x direction, n2 means unit vector along y direction, n3 means unit vector along z direction. But here is the diagram is two-dimensional, that's why I have only shown the unit vector along x and y direction. Okay, so you have to remember the formula for translational vector. T vector is equal to n1a plus n2b is plus n3c, and a, b, c are the crystallographic direction along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis respectively. So a vector is along x-axis, b vector is along y-axis, and c vector is along z-axis, and n1 is the unit vector along x-axis, n2 is unit vector along y-axis, n3 is unit vector along c-axis, so z-axis. So this is the formula for translational vector in 3 dimension. You have to remember this. Okay, now from figure we have to calculate the path difference between these rays. Path difference मतलब कितना एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल किया वो मुझे फाइंड आउट करना है from this diagram. The path difference between X-rays scattered from atom A and B. A और B से पाथ डिफरेंस कितना है. अब देखो यहां से इंसिडेंट एक्सरे जा रही है यहां तक, यहां से इंसिडेंट एक्सरे जा. अब पहले इंसिडेंट एक्सरेज की बात करते हैं. यहां से देखो माउस का एरो देखो, इंसिडेंट एक्सरे यहां से यहां तक ट्रेवल कर रही है. ओके, यहां से यहां तक ट्रेवल कर रही है. ओके, सो दीज आर द इंसिडेंट एक्सरेज. सो दिस इज द परपेंडिकुलर. सो व्हाट इज द एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस. यहां से यहां तक और यहां से यहां तक इंसिडेंट एक्सरे सेम ट्रेवल कर रही है, सेम. ओके, यहां से यहां तक और यहां से यहां तक इंसिडेंट एक्सरेज की लेंथ सेम है, डिस्टेंस सेम कवर कर रही है. तो एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस कितना ट्रेवल किया, MA. जहां पे परपेंडिकुलर इंटरसेक्ट हो रहा है वो डिस्टेंस से इस डिस्टेंस तक, दिस इज द एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस MA. वैसे ही स्कैटर्ड एक्सरेज देखो, यहां से A से यहां तक और n से यहां तक सेम डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल कर रही है, बट एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस कितना है b से n तक। ओके, तो स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे में एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे इज bn, एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय इंसिडेंट एक्सरे इज ma। ओके, सो पार्ट डिफरेंस अगर मुझे फाइंड आउट कर रहा है तो ये ma है एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस और यहां bn है एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस। ओके, फिर से बता रहा हूं, इंसिडेंट एक्सरे यहां से यहां तक और यहां से यहां तक, ये दोनों इंसिडेंट एक्सरे डिस्टेंस सेम ट्रैवल कर रही है। ओके, जहां पे परपेंडिकुलर इंटरसेक्ट हो रहा है यहां से यहां तक ma, एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल्ड बाय द इंसिडेंट एक्सरे। सिमिलरली दीज आर द स्कैटर्ड एक्सरेज, तो फर्स्ट स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे और सेकंड स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे n से यहां तक a से एंड पॉइंट तक सेम डिस्टेंस है, बट ये एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल कर रही है सेकेंड एक्सरे स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे, दैट इज bn। सो bn एक्स्ट्रा और यहां पे ma एक्स्ट्रा, तो bn की लेंथ ज्यादा है कि ma की लेंथ ज्यादा है? bn की लेंथ ज्यादा है। सो अगर पार्ट डिफरेंस कैलकुलेट करना है तो bn में से मैं ma माइनस करूंगा। ओके, इफ आई सब्सट्रैक्ट द ma फ्रॉम bn, ओके, ma फ्रॉम bn, ओके, देन वी विल गेट द पाथ डिफरेंस, बिकॉज ma की लेंथ इतनी है, सपोज करो bn की लेंथ है 4 सेंटीमीटर, बाकी तो लेंथ है इक्वल है। ओके, बाकी परपेंडिकुलर के पहले की, फर्स्ट परपेंडिकुलर के पहले की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, यहां तक लेंथ इक्वल है, यहां तक लेंथ इक्वल है, ठीक है, इस पॉइंट से इस पॉइंट तक, इस पॉइंट से इस पॉइंट तक लेंथ इक्वल है, इस पॉइंट से इस पॉइंट तक, इस पॉइंट से इस पॉइंट तक लेंथ इक्वल है। ओके, अब एक्स्ट्रा डिस्टेंस की बात करते हैं। bn is extra distance traveled by scattered x-ray, ma is extra distance traveled by incident x-ray, but which distance is more? bn distance is more as compared to ma. So if I subtract ma from bn, then we will get the path difference for scattered x-ray. ओके, क्योंकि ये इंसिडेंट एक्सरे का पार्ट डिफरेंस ma है, मुझे चाहिए द पार्ट डिफरेंस बिटवीन रे स्कैटर्ड फ्रॉम एटम a एंड b, a और b की स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे का पार्ट डिफरेंस चाहिए। इंसिडेंट एक्सरे का पार्ट डिफरेंस है ma, स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे का पार्ट डिफरेंस है bn, बट द लेंथ ऑफ bn इज मोर देन ma। इफ आई सब्सट्रैक्ट द लेंथ ऑफ if I subtract the length ma from bn, then I will get the part difference. Okay, तो bn में से ma subtract करेंगे तो part difference for scattered x-ray मिलेगा। Okay, so part difference between x-ray scattered from point A and B is given by bn minus ma. bn minus ma we will get the part difference, because the length of part difference, okay, length of bn is more as compared to ma, and ma is the difference for incident x-ray, bn is distance for scattered x-ray. So if I subtract ma from bn, then the remaining distance will be the part difference between rays scattered from atom A and B. Okay, so bn minus ma is the part difference. Okay, so part difference between rays scattered from A and B is given by bn minus ma. Part difference is nothing but bn minus ma. Then we have to find out the value of bn and ma. Then we can easily find out the part difference. So how to find out the value of bn? Very easy. Just look at the same figure is there I have drawn. Just look at the triangle bn. bn kahan par hai? bn is this. So I have to consider this triangle. Just look at my mouse arrow. I have to consider a, b, n. Triangle ABN. I have to find out the bn. So I have to consider the triangle ABN. So in ABN, okay, in ABN, if I want to calculate the value for cos phi means adjacent upon hypotenuse. So which is hypotenuse? This is right angle triangle. So AB is the hypotenuse and BN is the adjacent side correspond to the angle phi. If I want to find out the cos phi, the value of cos phi, adjacent upon hypotenuse, adjacent is bn and hypotenuse is ab. Okay, so in triangle A and B, in triangle A and B, cos phi is equal to adjacent means bn upon hypotenuse means ab, bn upon ab, right? Because cos phi, just consider this angle, triangle A, B, and cos phi, angle phi is this, so cos phi means adjacent side is bn and hypotenuse is ab, so bn upon ab. In triangle ABN, that is cos phi is equal to bn upon ab, and bn we have to find out the bn, but what is ab? Ab is translational vector, so magnitude of translational vector is t, so bn upon t, the length of ab is t, okay, translational vector. So we will get cos phi is equal to bn upon t, and from here bn we will get bn t cos phi, we will get bn is nothing but t cos phi, t यहाँ पर आ जाएगा तो t cos phi, ओके, t cos phi को I can write as t dot 1 dot cos phi, 1 से मल्टीप्लाई करने से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा इस इक्वेशन को, so bn is equal to 2 into 1 into cos phi. Okay, so why I have written this? Okay, because I know that 1 means the magnitude of unit vector. Now we are talking about bn. bn कहाँ पर है? bn है scattered x-ray के डायरेक्शन में. What is the length bn? bn is nothing but the in the direction of scattered x-ray. bn क्या है? Length of the scattered x-rays. Okay, so along bn, it means along scattered x-ray, which is the unit vector n2. n2 cap is the unit vector. Okay, so in place of 1 I can write as the magnitude of n2. Okay, so bn is equal to 2 into, in place of 1 I can write as magnitude of vector n2. Why? Because the magnitude of vector n2 is 1, so in place of 1 I can write as n2 cap magnitude of n2 unit vector. Why I have taken unit vector n2? Because bn is nothing but the length of scattered x-ray, and the unit vector along this direction of scattered x-ray is n2 cap. That's why I have taken the magnitude of n2. So 1 की जगह मैंने n2 magnitude लिखा, because magnitude of n2 is 1. So now it becomes t dot n2 dot cos phi, means a, if suppose t is a and n2 is b, so ab cos phi or ab cos theta. You know that dot product means a dot b, अगर डॉट को हटाना है तो क्या करते हैं? ab cos theta लिखते हैं, angle between the vector a and b. Okay, vector a dot vector b, what is that? What is the formula? ab cos theta. अगर वेक्टर हटाना है और डॉट हटाना है तो हम कैसे फॉर्मूला कैसे लिखते हैं? ab cos theta. उसी तरीके से यहाँ पे डॉट है ऑलरेडी, t dot 1 dot, ओके, ये मैग्नीट्यूड है t into 1 into cos phi, so we can write in terms of vector t vector dot n2 vector. ओके, सो cos को अगर हटाना है तो t वेक्टर डॉट n2 वेक्टर लिख सकते हैं, बिकॉज t मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ t एंड मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ n2 cos phi, दिस नथिंग बट t डॉट n2, t वेक्टर डॉट n2 वेक्टर. ओके, a वेक्टर डॉट b वेक्टर को हम कैसे लिखते हैं? ab cos थीटा, वो थीटा एंगल है, यहाँ पे phi है. ओके, a वेक्टर डॉट b वेक्टर इज नथिंग बट ab cos थीटा, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ ए वेक्टर, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ बी वेक्टर एंड cos थीटा, ऐसे लिखते हैं. तो यहाँ पे ऑलरेडी है मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ टी वेक्टर, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ n2 वेक्टर एंड cos phi. सो इट कैन बी रिटन इन द डॉट फॉर्म टी वेक्टर डॉट n2 वेक्टर, बिकॉज टी वेक्टर डॉट n2 वेक्टर को एक्सपांड करोगे तो मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ टी, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ n2 एंड cos phi, द एंगल बिटवीन द वेक्टर्स. ओके, सो ए वेक्टर डॉट बी वेक्टर को हम कैसे लिखते हैं? मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ ए, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ बी, cos थीटा. और उल्टा भी लिख सकते हैं, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ ए इंटू मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ बी इंटू cos थीटा इज नथिंग बट ए वेक्टर डॉट बी वेक्टर. उसी तरीके से मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ टी, मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ n2 cos phi कैन बी रिटन एज द वेक्टर t डॉट वेक्टर n2. इस तरीके से bn हमने निकाल लिया. सो सिमिलरली ये bn निकाला, दिस इज द इक्वेशन नंबर 2. सिमिलरली वी विल फाइंड आउट द am, दिस इज am. Okay, now you have to consider this triangle, this bigger triangle. So consider the triangle AMB. So in triangle AMB, I have to find out what? I have to find out AM. Okay, so I have to consider this angle phi. Okay, so cos phi in triangle AMB, I have to consider the cosine of phi. This is the phi angle. So what is cosine of phi? Cos phi adjacent. Which is the adjacent side? AM. And which is the hypotenuse? AB. Okay, so this is the hypotenuse, this is the triangle, this is right angle triangle, this is triangle, this is 90-degree angle, opposite to that this is hypotenuse, AB is hypotenuse and AM is the adjacent side for the angle phi. So cos phi is nothing but AM divided by AB, AM divided by AB. Okay, this is also right angle triangle AMB. Okay, so in triangle AMB we have cos phi is equal to AM, okay, divided by AB, but we have to find out the AM, and AB is nothing but translational, again t. So AM is nothing but the t cos phi, AM is t cos phi. Okay, this can also be written as t इंटू 1 डॉट कॉस फाइ. ओके, 1 से मल्टीप्लाई करूंगा तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. बट हियर 1 इज मीन्स this we are talking about the incident x-ray. So in place of 1 I can write as the magnitude of vector n1 because n1 is the unit vector along incident x-ray. So in place of 1 I can write as am is equal to t into n1 vector ka magnitude. Okay, magnitude of n1 and cos phi. So this is also magnitude of t, magnitude of n1 and cos phi. So this can be written as t dot n1 dot. Okay, the difference in calculating bn and am is that for calculating bn we have to consider the unit vector n2, for calculating am we have to consider the unit vector n1. Okay, so we got am is nothing but t vector dot n vector, that is the equation number 3. Okay, so that is the equation number 2 and this is the equation number 3. So we got bn is t vector dot n2 vector. Okay, and am we got t vector into n1 cap. Okay, that is unit vector. Okay, so we have find out the bn and am. So what is the part difference? Part difference is bn minus am. Okay, so putting the values of bn and am from equation number 2 and 3 in equation number 1. What is equation number 1? I am again showing you. Okay, this is the equation number 1, bn minus am. So am bn की वैल्यू निकाला t वेक्टर डॉट n2 कैप, am की वैल्यू निकाला t वेक्टर डॉट n1 कैप. So put the values of bn and am in equation number 1. So what is the part difference? Then part difference is bn minus am is nothing but t vector dot n2 cap minus t vector dot n1 cap. Okay, because we have find out bn as this value and am as this value. Okay, so part difference would be t vector dot n2 cap minus t vector dot n1 cap is equal to t vector is common, so I am taking common t vector and we get in the bracket n2 cap minus n1 cap. This is the unit vector along the incident x-rays and this is the unit vector along scattered x-ray. So this is the equation number 4. Okay, we have find out the part difference between scattered x-ray from atom A and B. So this is the formula, bn minus am t vector n2 vector minus n1 vector. This is the equation number 4. Okay, now again I am showing that diagram and this time we have to consider only the incident x-rays. Okay, only the incident x-ray फ्रॉम एटम ए. अभी सिर्फ एक सिंपल ए एटम का केस कंसिडर कर रहा हूं. अब बी एटम को मैं निग्लेक्ट कर रहा हूं और एक डायग्राम मैं बता रहा हूं, ठीक है, ओनली रिलेटेड टू द ए एटम. सेम डायग्राम है, नीचे वाला एटम कंसिडर नहीं किया मैंने, बी एटम, सिर्फ विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू ए एटम ये डायग्राम बना रहा हूं. तो यहां पे ए एटम है, देन दिस इज इंसिडेंट एक्सरे एंड दिस इज स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे एंड आई एम एक्सटेंडिंग दिस इंसिडेंट एक्सरे टू दिस लेवल. ओके, तो क्या है, सिर्फ एक ही एटम कंसिडर किया मैंने, दिस इज द ए एटम. ओके, एंड दिस इज इंसिडेंट एक्सरे एंड दिस इज स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे. ओके, दिस इज इंसिडेंट एंड दिस इज स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे एंड दिस इज द एटम ए. ओके, जस्ट आई एम एक्सटेंडिंग दिस इंसिडेंट एक्सरे टू दैट लेवल. तो मैं क्या कर रहा हूं, ये जो इंसिडेंट एक्सरे उसको बढ़ा रहा हूं, एक्सटेंड कर रहा हूं यहां तक. ओके, सो इंसिडेंट एक्सरे के अलावा कौन सा यूनिट वेक्टर है, n1 कैप. स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे के अलावा कौन सा यूनिट वेक्टर है, n2 कैप. बिकॉज हियर आई एम ओनली कंसिडरिंग द एटम ए, सिर्फ एटम ए कंसिडर कर रहा हूं, एटम बी को कंसिडर नहीं कर रहा हूं. इस डायग्राम को मैं मॉडिफाई करके सिर्फ एटम, एक ही एटम कंसिडर कर रहा हूं, दैट इज ए एटम यहां पर है. ओके, सो दिस इज इंसिडेंट एक्सरे, ओके, एंड दिस इज स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे एंड जस्ट आई एम एक्सटेंडिंग दिस इंसिडेंट एक्सरे टू दैट लेवल. नीचे तक मैं एक्सटेंड कर रहा हूं, तो ये भी थीटा हो जाएगा. सो दिस एंगल इज थीटा, this angle is also theta, so this is also theta because opposite angle, this theta and this theta, and if suppose this is plane, okay, so this is theta, so this also theta because opposite angle. This is plane and this is intersecting line, so this is opposite angle, so this is also theta. And along this line the unit vector is n1 because this is just a extension of incident लाइन, इंसिडेंट एक्सरे. सो ये इंसिडेंट एक्सरे बीम की लाइन है, उसी को मैंने एक्सटेंड कर रहा है, तो इसका भी यूनिट वेक्टर क्या होगा, n1 कैप. ओके, और ये स्कैटर्ड एक्सरे की लाइन है, तो इसका यूनिट वेक्टर क्या है, n2 कैप. और ये एंगल थीटा, ये भी एंगल थीटा, ये भी एंगल थीटा है. Now just I am drawing a one perpendicular to the end of this scattered X-ray and end of this incident X-ray. So यह end point से यहाँ तक मैं एक perpendicular draw कर रहा हूँ. Okay, that perpendicular is nothing but EF. तो एक triangle complete हो गया. Okay, I have drawn one perpendicular from this end point of this scattered X-ray and end point of this incident X-ray, and that perpendicular I say that as EF. Okay, EF is the perpendicular. So one triangle is completed. Which triangle? AEF. तो ये AEF एक ट्रायंगल कंप्लीट होगा और ये जो परपेंडिकुलर का डायरेक्शन जो है वो डायरेक्शन है along this FE, along E डायरेक्शन. ओके, इस तरीके से. तो यहां से एक ट्रायंगल कंप्लीट हो गया. मैंने ये डायग्राम सेम डायग्राम है पिछली जैसी थी, सिर्फ मैंने एटम ए के लिए केस कंसिडर किया, नीचे वाला बी एटम नहीं लिया. ये डायग्राम को थोड़ा मॉडिफाई करके सिर्फ ए एटम के लिए मैंने बनाया चीजें. सेम डायग्राम है, बी वाला एटम कंसिडर नहीं किया. अब क्यों नहीं किया? क्योंकि मुझे कैलकुलेट करना है एक चीज जो अभी तुम्हें पता चलेगी क्या कैलकुलेट करना है. ओके, सो ये ट्रायंगल मैंने कंप्लीट किया, यहां से एक परपेंडिकुलर ड्रॉ किया और इस ट्रायंगल को कंप्लीट किया, AEF. ओके, नाउ जस्ट कंसीडर द लेंथ ऑफ EF इज कैपिटल N. ओके, लेंथ ऑफ EF को कैपिटल N बोल दो. ओके, और इस पॉइंट को O बोल दो. यहां पे जहां पे इंटरसेक्ट हो रहा है ये पॉइंट O है. ओके, EF, let us consider that the length of EF is capital N. ओके, सो जो ये रहेगा एक लेंथ EO और OF, तो ये पॉइंट पे क्या हो रहा है, जो EF है वो दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड हो रहा है, बिकॉज दिस इज द एकदम परपेंडिकुलर लाइन है ये और ये परपेंडिकुलर है. तो यहां पे जो पॉइंट है O, वो क्या कर रहा है, O पॉइंट यहां पे जो है वो हाफ डिवाइड कर रहा है EF को. तो EO इज इक्वल टू OF रहेगा. ठीक है, तो लेंथ ऑफ EO इज इक्वल टू लेंथ ऑफ OF. सो टोटल लेंथ कितनी है EF की? N. तो EO की लेंथ कितनी होगी? N/2, हाफ. और OF की लेंथ भी कितनी होगी? N/2, हाफ. सिंपल. इफ EF is N and O is the midpoint of EF, so it divides the EF into two parts. So the length of EO is N/2 and length of OF is N/2. सिंपल लेंथ है. अब क्या करो, इस ट्रायंगल में वेक्टर लॉ ऑफ एडिशन लगाओ. ट्रायंगल, ओके, वेक्टर लॉ ऑफ एडिशन लगाओ यहाँ पे ट्रायंगल का. ये जो ट्रायंगल में है, सो ट्रायंगल में वेक्टर लॉ लगाओ एडिशन के लिए AEF ट्रायंगल में. तो अगर वेक्टर लॉ के हिसाब से AF प्लस FE इज इक्वल टू E है. देखो डायरेक्शन ऑफ AF इज दिस, डायरेक्शन ऑफ FE इज दिस. सेम डायरेक्शन. एरो का डायरेक्शन देखो, AF का एरो इसी डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है, FE का एरो इस डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है, लेकिन AE का एरो ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है. ओके, सो ट्रायंगल लॉ ऑफ वेक्टर एडिशन क्या बोलता है? AF प्लस FE is equal to AE, because the direction of these two vectors is same, but the direction of these vector is opposite to that of two vectors. So vector A, मतलब the direction of AF and FE is same, and the direction of AE is different, against opposite. So triangle law, according to triangle law of vector addition, AF plus FE is equal to AE. Okay, so what is AF? Is N1 cap. What is FE? Is N. And what is AE? N2 cap. So N1 cap plus N is equal to N2 cap. So according to the vector law of addition, यहाँ पे मत ध्यान दो, इधर देखो, according to the vector triangle law of vector addition, okay, in triangle AEF is nothing but N1 cap plus EF plus N2 cap. N1 cap plus EF is equal to N2 cap, क्योंकि N1 का डायरेक्शन सेम है, EF का डायरेक्शन भी सेम है, AE का डायरेक्शन उल्टा है, मतलब N2 का. So N1 cap along this AF line, N along this FE line, and AE along this AE line N2. So N1 cap plus EF is equal to N2 cap. This is the triangle law of vector addition. Okay, this is triangle law of vector addition. So from this law I can easily calculate the EF. So EF is equal to N2 cap minus N1 cap. N2 cap, N1 cap को उस साइड में लेके जाएंगे. EF is equal to N2 cap minus N1 cap. And what is N2 cap minus N1 cap? Okay, that is N. That is N, because EF is N. Okay, So EF is n, EF is n, EF is n. We have considered EF as n. So EF is n. So n2 cap minus n1 cap is nothing but n vector. Okay, n2 cap minus n1 cap is n vector. So this is the equation number 5. So we have calculated n2 cap minus n1, means the difference between unit vector correspond to the scattered X-ray and unit vector corresponds to the incident X-ray is nothing but a normal is nothing but a vector n, is nothing but the vector n. The difference between the unit vector of scattered X-ray and incident X-ray is nothing but the unit name is nothing but the vector n, capital vector n. So this is the equation number 5. Okay, now in this box, just concentrate on this box. If I have to calculate the sine theta, okay, if I have to calculate the sine theta in this triangle, if suppose in this triangle AEO sine theta calculate करना, तो sine theta is nothing but opposite side is EO and hypotenuse is AE, EO upon AE. Okay, so in triangle, just look at this triangle. In triangle AEO, if I want to calculate the sine theta means this theta angle, opposite side means EO, hypotenuse means AE. So sine theta is equal to EO upon AE. And what is EO? EO is nothing but n by 2. EO is n by 2. And what is AE? Okay, AE is n2 cap magnitude, because we have to consider the length, that is magnitude of vector n2. So n by 2. So magnitude of vector n2 is 1. Magnitude of vector n2 is, I already told you that magnitude of unit vector is 1. So magnitude of n2 vector is 1, n by 2. So sine theta we will get n by 2. And from this n, the value of n we will get 2 sine theta. N is equal to 2 sine theta. So you have to remember that from this triangle we will get the value for n is 2 sine theta. So value of that length EF is 2 sine theta. So value of n means magnitude of vector n is 2 sine theta. So you have to remember this 2 sine theta we have calculated from this triangle. Okay, from this triangle AEO we have calculated the value for n is 2 sine theta. Okay, by considering the sine theta value EO upon AE, and EO is n by 2. EO, length of EO is n by 2, and AE is, the magnitude of AE is magnitude of unit vector n2 vector, and magnitude of unit vector is 1. So that's why we got the value n is equal to 2 sine theta. Okay, so this, from this equation number 5 we got n2 minus n1 cap is equal to n, and from this equation we got n is equal to 2 sine theta. Now put the value of equation number 5 in equation number 4. So what is equation number 4? Equation number 4 is part difference. Again I am showing the equation number 4. Okay, so what is the equation number 4? Equation number 4 is nothing but the path difference. This is the equation number 4. Path difference, T vector n2 minus n1 vector, but n2 cap minus n1 cap is capital N vector. Okay, the value, we have to put the value of n2 cap minus n1 cap in equation number 4. So part difference will be T vector, okay, into n vector. Okay, just I am putting this value. Okay, so again putting the value of equation number 5 in equation number 4, so we will get part difference Bn minus Am is vector T into vector n, because n2 cap minus n1 cap is vector n. So this is the equation number 6. Okay, so we have come up with the equation for part difference Bn minus Am is equal to T vector into n vector. Okay, now what we will do? Now we know that for constructive interference the part difference is integral multiple of lambda. ये बताया था constructive interference के लिए part difference क्या होता है? Integral multiple of lambda means n lambda. और destructive interference के लिए क्या होता है? n plus 1 by 2 lambda. Okay, so for constructive interference, because the diffraction is takes place, it means these two scattered beams are interfering in phase. Okay, they are producing a constructive interference. जो दो scattered rays है ना, दो atoms है, they will produce a constructive interference. Because of that we will get the diffraction pattern. So for constructive interference the part difference should be the integral multiple of lambda. So part difference is nothing but n lambda. So this is the part difference. So this should be equal to n into lambda. So part difference bn minus am, it should be equal to n lambda. So from this equation we got t vector dot n vector is nothing but n lambda. Okay, so t vector dot n vector is nothing but n lambda from this equation. Okay, because part difference is n lambda, and we have calculated the part difference is t vector dot n vector. So t vector dot n vector is nothing but n lambda, because this path difference should be equal to the integral multiple of lambda. So this is t vector dot n vector. So this is the equation number 7. Okay, now this is the general equation. This is the general equation of part difference between scattered X-ray. Okay, and this is equal to the n into lambda. Okay, this is the general equation. But if I want to calculate, I want to show this equation in 3 dimension, along x-axis, along y-axis, along z-axis. So I have to consider this translational vector along 3 axes. Okay, so we know that this is the translational vector along, it is in 3 dimensional, along x-axis, b-axis and c-axis. So a vector is along x-axis, b vector is along y-axis and c vector is along z-axis, and n1 is nothing but the unit vector. Okay, the component of unit vector along x-axis, n2 is along y-axis and n3 is along z-axis. So इस इक्वेशन को भी मुझे इस इक्वेशन के भी मुझे 3 इक्वेशंस लिखने हैं along x-axis, y-axis and z. This is general equation. Equation number 7 is general equation. This is the part difference. Okay, and this is nothing but n lambda. T vector dot n vector is n lambda. But I have to write this equation in 3 dimensional. मतलब along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So for writing this equation number 7 along x-axis, so along x-axis, this in component form we have to write the equation number 7 can be written as these 3 equation. This is along x-axis, this is along y-axis and this is along z-axis. This is in equation 8, 9, 10. So what is the difference? Just look at n1 is the component along x-axis. So I have put this n1 lambda is equal to, in place of translational vector I have put a vector, because a vector is along x-axis. So a vector dot n. Okay, in place of t vector I have put a vector, in place of n I have put n1 vector. So this equation will be the equation, okay, along x-axis. N1 into lambda is equal to a vector dot n vector. Okay, that is the equation number 8, and this equation, okay, this equation or this component is along x-axis, and for y-axis just replace t vector by b vector, because b vector is along y-axis, and just replace n by n2, because n2 is the component along unit vector along y-axis. Okay, so in place of n I have put n2 and in place of t I have put b. So this is the equation along y-axis. Similarly, for equation along z-axis, put in place of n, put n3, in place of t vector just put c vector, because c vector is along z-axis and n3 is the component, their component along z-axis. Okay, so this general equation number 7, okay, this general equation number 7 can be rewritten in 3 components along x-axis, along y-axis and along z-axis. Just you have to replace in place of t vector a, b, c, because a is along x-axis, b vector is along y-axis, because a vector is translational vector along x-axis, b vector is translational component along y-axis, c vector is translational component along z-axis, and these are the unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. So this equation number 7 I can rewrite in 3 forms along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Okay, so thereafter क्या करेंगे? Now suppose that these ABC vectors are making angle alpha, beta, gamma with vector n. Okay, we have to consider the angle ABC vectors are making angle alpha, beta, gamma with vector n, because we have to remove that dot product. If you have to remove that dot, if you want to remove that dot product, then you have to add the cosine of angle, because a vector dot b vector is ab cos theta. So you have to write cos theta there. Okay, but suppose vector a is making an angle with n alpha. The alpha is the angle or alpha is the angle between the vector a and vector n. Beta is the angle between the vector b and vector n. And gamma is the angle between the vector c and vector n. Okay, so if I want to write the equation number 8, 9, 10, so I can write in this form: a dot n vector can be written as a into n cos alpha, because alpha is the angle between a vector and n vector. Then, and again this second equation, n2 lambda is equal to b vector dot n vector, so this can be written as b into n cos beta, because beta is the angle between b vector and n vector. And third one is n3 lambda is equal to c vector dot n vector. So if I want to remove that dot product, magnitude of c vector is c, magnitude of n vector is n, and the angle between them is gamma, because angle between c and gamma, angle between c and n we have considered the gamma angle. So magnitude of c and magnitude of n is nothing but cos gamma. Okay, because you have to remember the formula: a vector dot b vector is nothing but ab cos theta, if theta is the angle between the वेक्टर a एंड b. अगर तुमको वेक्टर को मैग्नीट्यूड में लिखना है तो तुमको फॉर्मूला पता होना चाहिए: a वेक्टर डॉट b वेक्टर इज ab cos थीटा if theta is the angle between vector a and b. Here we are considering the alpha, beta, gamma are the angles between a and a, b, a and n, b and n, and c and n vector. So if I want to remove this dot product, I have to consider the magnitude of a, magnitude of n, and the angle between them. So angle between a and n is alpha, we have considered alpha, so cosine of angle between them, cos alpha. Similarly, b dot n means b and cos beta, because beta is the angle between b and n, we have considered. And c dot n is, again we have to write the magnitude c into n, magnitude of c vector is c, magnitude of n vector is n, and the gamma is the angle between them, so cosine of gamma, cos gamma. तो इस तरीके से डॉट प्रोडक्ट को हटाना है, रिमूव करना है, तो मैग्नीट्यूड के टर्म्स में लिखना पड़ेगा और कॉस ऑफ एंगल से मल्टीप्लाई करना पड़ेगा, जो भी एंगल है, यहाँ पे अल्फा कंसिडर किया, यहाँ बीटा कंसिडर किया, यहाँ गामा कंसिडर किया. ओके, नाउ वी गॉट these three equations. Okay, and these are the integral values n1, n2, n3. So in place of n1, n2, n3, for my convenience I have put in place of n1 h, in place of n2 k, and in place of n3 l. तो ये जो तीनों इंटीजर्स है, ओके, ये अगर तीनों ये मैग्नीट्यूड है तो तीनों इंटीजर की जगह मैं नए इंटीजर्स यूज कर रहा हूं h, k, l फॉर माय कन्वीनियंस. ओके, n1 ये n कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है इधर, इसलिए मैं n1 की जगह h ले रहा हूं, n2 की जगह k ले रहा हूं, n3 की जगह l ले रहा हूं. ओके, सो इंटीग्रल ये इंटीजर्स है, इंटीजर्स को मैं कोई भी सिंबल्स दे सकता हूं, कोई भी लेटर्स दे सकता हूं. तो n1 की जगह h लिया, n2 की जगह k लिया और n3 की जगह l लिया. ओके, h लैम्बडा इज इक्वल टू an cos phi, k lambda is equal to bn cos beta, and l lambda is equal to cn cos gamma. तो इस तरीके के ये तीन इक्वेशन मुझे मिले. ओके, सो these are the equation for one set of parallel planes. Okay, these are the equation for one set of parallel planes. If suppose there are number of atoms or there are more number of atoms, okay, more number of parallel planes, then we have to multiply this left hand side by n. For n number of parallel atoms or for n number of parallel planes, I have to multiply both these three equations by n in left hand side. Okay, so it will be nh lambda, nk lambda, and nl lambda. Okay, so multiplying by n, the above equation are modified for n. nh lambda is equal to an cos alpha, nk lambda is equal to bn cos beta, nl lambda is equal to cn cos gamma. ओके, तो इस तरीके से मैं ये तीनों इक्वेशन को फॉर n नंबर ऑफ पैरेलल प्लेन्स के लिए लिखा. जस्ट n से मल्टीप्लाई करो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को. ओके, सो दीज आर द इक्वेशन नंबर 11. ओके, सो ये तीनों इक्वेशन को इक्वेशन नंबर 11 बोल दिया. तो फर्स्ट इक्वेशन इज अलोंग x एक्सिस, सेकंड इक्वेशन इज अलोंग y एक्सिस, एंड थर्ड इक्वेशन इज अलोंग z एक्सिस. नाउ we know that the value of n is 2 sin theta. Just replaced in place of n, we can write as 2 sin theta. Okay, हमने निकाला था ना n का वैल्यू. अगेन बता रहा हूं, n का वैल्यू we have already find out the value of n through that with that diagram. Okay, देखा रहा हूं फिर से. ठीक है, देखो इधर. Here with the help of this diagram we have calculated the value of n is 2 sin theta. तो put this value there. Okay, we know that n is 2 sin theta. Okay, so in this equation I will put in place of n 2 sin theta. So this will be 2a sin theta cos alpha, this is 2b sin theta cos beta, this is 2c sin theta cos gamma. Okay, So in place of n I have put 2 sin theta. So this equation will be, first equation will be nh lambda is equal to 2a sin theta cos phi. Second equation nk lambda is 2b sin theta cos beta, and third one is nl lambda is equal to 2c sin theta cos gamma. Okay, so इस तरीके से this is the equation number 12. Okay, now these three equations are very important, and these equations are called Lave's diffraction equation. So Lave's given these three equations, okay, along x axis, y axis and z axis. जो ब्रैग्स लॉ देखा था हमने, वो ब्रैग लॉ वन डायमेंशन में था, लेकिन ये जो लेविस इक्वेशन ये 3 डायमेंशन में, दिस इज अलोंग x axis, दिस इज अलोंग y axis and this is along z axis. A is nothing but the along x, A is the crystallographic direction along x axis, B is y axis and C is z axis, and alpha is angle between vector A. Okay, इस तरीके से alpha is the angle between the vector A correspond to the x direction, this is correspond to y direction and this is correspond to z direction. Okay, और इस तरीके से h जो है, h is integer along x, k is y and l is along z. So these three equation or this set of these three equations are called Lave's diffraction equation. Okay, तो यही Lave's diffraction equation से हम Bragg's law को भी derive कर सकते हैं. तो ये 3 equation याद रखना है. These equation are called Lave's diffraction equation, and with this help of these 3 equation we can easily derive the Bragg's equation. तो देखो Bragg's equation कैसे derive करेंगे, nh lambda is equal to 2a sin theta cos alpha. इसमें से cos alpha निकालो. ओके, तो इसमें से cos अल्फा निकालोगे तो ओके, cos अल्फा इज नथिंग बट nh लैम्बडा, ये 2a sin थीटा को लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में लिखो, cos अल्फा इज nh लैम्बडा डिवाइडेड बाय 2a sin थीटा. तो इस इक्वेशन में से आई हैव फाइंड आउट द cos अल्फा. ओके, cos अल्फा यहां पे ही रखा और 2a sin थीटा को आई हैव शिफ्टेड टू लेफ्ट हैंड साइड इन डिनोमिनेटर. सो cos अल्फा इज नथिंग बट nh लैम्बडा 2a sin थीटा. सिमिलरली हियर cos beta is equal to nk lambda, sorry, here is nk lambda 2b sin theta, and similarly here cos gamma is equal to nl lambda, यहाँ पे l चाहिए, यहाँ h गलती से हो गया, nl lambda divided by 2a sin theta. Now squaring and adding equation number 13, 14 and 15. स्क्वायर और ऐड करो लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में, राइट हैंड साइड में भी स्क्वायर. स्क्वायरिंग एंड ऐड करो इक्वेशन नंबर 13, 14 and 15. Squaring and adding equation 13, 14 and 15. So we'll get cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma and square of these right hand terms. Okay. So cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, square किया तो इसका n square h square lambda square divided by 4a square sin square theta plus ये वाला स्क्वायर n square h square lambda square divided by 4b, 2 का स्क्वायर 4, b का स्क्वायर b square sin square theta plus n square l square h square, okay, lambda square divided by 4, 2 square c square, मतलब 2 square 4, c square sin square theta. तो इस तरीके से squaring and adding both three equation, but these are the direction cosines. Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, these are the direction cosines, and the sum of these squares of direction cosines is 1. तो cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, ये direction cosines का square है, ये 1 होता है, तो 1. Now we have to take the common, n square h square, n square lambda square, n square lambda square, n square lambda square, both three terms, all the three terms contain n square lambda square in the numerator, as well as just look at 4 sin square theta, 4 sin square theta, 4 sin. So denominator of all three terms contain 4 sin square theta. So we have to take the common, we can take the common n square lambda square common and 4 sin square theta common. So n square lambda square and 4 sin square theta common from these three terms. So we are left in the bracket h square upon a square, h square upon a square, k square upon b square plus k square upon b square, l square upon c square plus l square upon c square. So after taking common this term n square lambda square divided by 4 sin square theta, so we are left within the bracket h square upon a square, k square upon b square plus l square upon c square. But this value h square upon a square plus k square upon b square plus l square upon c square, that is nothing but 1 by d square. That is nothing but 1 by d square. So you have to remember this is very important relation between HKL and interplanar spacing. H square upon a square plus k square upon b square plus l square upon c square, that is nothing but 1 by d square HKL. HKL are Miller indices. 1 by d square HKL subscript. Okay, so in place of this I can write as 1 upon d square HKL. Okay, d square HKL, 1 by d square HKL. Okay, now n square lambda square, I am shifting this denominator to left hand side. So n square lambda square is equal to 4 DHKL square sine square theta. And after taking square root, 4 का square root 2, d square HKL का square root d HKL, sin square theta का square root sin theta, n square का square root n lambda square का square root n lambda. तो taking square root we will get 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda, and this is the Bragg's equation. Okay, 2d HKL is subscript related to the planes. अगर plane 1 1 1 1 1 है तो d 1 1 1 बोलेंगे, planes 2 2 2 है तो d 2 2 बोलेंगे. That is interplanar spacing corresponding to each plane. So from Lave's equation we can easily derive this Bragg equation. 2d sin theta is equal to n lambda. This is the Bragg's equation. So we have seen the Lave's diffraction equation, and from Lave's diffraction equation we have derived Bragg's equation. So this is the Bragg's equation.